Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video we'll be taking a look at Trench Offensive and Threat Level Emergency Response by Pandyman Games. I saw these games at the UK Games Expo and was lucky enough to meet Paul Howells, the game designer, and he gave me a copy of each book, so I thought it'd be cool just to make a quick video giving you an overview of these two Tabletop Skirmish games. Now, I haven't played these yet, but I've had a really good read through the rulebook, so I'll be sharing a few of the things that stand out to me, and I'll point you in the right direction so you can find out a little bit more about these two games. I'm really keen to share more independent tabletop skirmish games like these and also bring you news about other games as well as it comes up. So let's get started and we'll have a look at Trench Offensive first and then we can look at Threat Level later on. So here we go. This is a real indie feel to these books, especially this one, A5 in size. Certainly reminds me of a lot of Moonstone. I'm really liking these A5 size rule books at the moment. I think it's a good idea to have something a little bit more compact, especially on the tabletop. Makes a big difference. And here you can see we've got everything set in the scene for this game, which is a Great War-inspired trench combat skirmish war game, and it's a 28mm scale. Contents are nicely laid out there, very clear. We're going to go through all the sections, and 64 pages altogether. Shows us here how we're going to be getting started, so everything we need to play, and you can play this on different sized boards, but they point out a 13.33 inch is big enough for most of the raids. And here's the terrain that I saw at the event, and this really caught my attention. It looked fantastic, and I think it would be a ton of fun to build something like this to play the raids and missions that are included in this game book. But you can see some of the models here that come with the book as well. And then once you've got started, you've got everything you need. You're going to go through the basic rules, and it's just going to take you through here, a little introduction, and then we'll move on to the stat breakdown. One thing I really liked about the rules is they've got the range attack and melee attack. That's pretty normal, but I really like the range defense and melee defense. I thought that was a nice touch, so having the two different stats and characteristics for the different types of offenses. That's a smart move. I really like that idea. And the game is also heavily based on this advantage and disadvantage system where you roll 2d6 and then you'll be picking the highest or the lowest and then applying your modifiers to those results. And then certain conditions like a miniature going over the top out of the trench, that's going to give them disadvantage. Then you've got your rules of engagement, and it tells you exactly how you're going to win the game. Points-based system based on objectives and things you have to do during each raid and mission. There's going to be 6 phases in each turn, starting with the initiative phase, event phase, interactions, movement, combat, and morale. And it's an alternating activation game, which is cool. It's going to be for 2 or more players as well. So with the board big enough, you could certainly have more than 2 players all playing at once, which is really cool. And then you'll all be alternating your activations between you. Once you've gone through all the basic rules, you've got the game set up here, and there's a little bit of a difference in the table size. It says here use a 2 foot by 6 foot playing board or mat. That's the standard size for the game, but if we go back to the page here on page 4, you can use smaller, so you can use the different 13 by 33 inch. So there really is flexibility on the game board. Don't think you have to have a 2 by 6 foot. You can go a little bit smaller, as they state earlier on. Then you're going to be going to the recruitment office and choosing the empires and alliances. You've got the British, French, US, German and the Ottoman Empire to choose from. I'm not going to comment here about which one you might want to play or you might not. That's entirely up to you. But when you have picked your Empire Alliance, then you're going to be picking your raiding party. So you'll go for a leader and then a selection of different troops. And then here you can see there's a number of raids included in the book. And it's really building on this theme of the Great War. There's pigeons in there that you're going to be trying to go after for either information or food. And altogether, there's going to be 8 raids there that you can go on. And of course, you could make your own up. You can see that these are nice and brief, very straightforward, so you could easily put your own together. During the round, the second phase will be the event phase. And this section tells you about the event phase list and all the rules. So different things are going to be happening. Again, all themed for the war. Gas, gas, gas. There's going to be snipers. There's going to be explosive shells coming in. So lots can happen, and they could be unexpected. Then here we've got the stats, so you've got your leaders to choose from. Typically you're going to get a junior officer and an NCO, and then your troops are going to include a veteran, a private, a medic, and then also an unstable as well. So you're going to get different types, and that's going to be the same no matter which country you choose. You're going to get the same options. Although they're the same options, the stats are going to be different, so no matter which country you pick, you can have a different kind of experience with them. Then you've got the weapons that you can choose from. You've got the close combat here, and if we flick back, you can see you've got the range weapons. 6 range weapons to choose from, all themed again for trench warfare, and then 9 close combat weapons. And then after that, you're going to get all your special rules and keywords neatly placed on about 2.5 pages, so you can easily find out what each of the keywords mean. Then you've got your templates that you can photocopy and print out, and finally the credits and copyright information at the back. There you go, that's a brief overview of Trench Offensive, and I'll put a link in the description that will go to the website so you can find out more about that. But we're not done yet, because we've still got to take a look at threat level emergency response, and we've got some miniatures this time, and they were kind enough to give me this cool Santa one, which really stood out amongst the miniatures they had on display. Looks awesome, Yakuza Santa. So he's going to be going around there with some kind of samurai sword, which I think is absolutely crazy and awesome, and so that's going to be real fun. And then we've got a couple of the policeman figures here as well. They've got a load of miniatures on their website if you'd like to have a look at those too, linked down below. Here we go then, here's the book, so we'll have a quick flick through. This is the 3rd edition, again written and created by Paul Howells. This is the A4 book, and so nicely spaced out. It does say on their website that this is dyslexia friendly, and the rule book is written to be easy to read with plain simple rules to ease learning, so it shouldn't take long to get into this. The core rules here are very similar to Trench Offensive, and then obviously the theme is going to be totally different, but the core rules and mechanics behind it are very much the same. There's going to be an AI system with this one though, so that's quite interesting, and that AI system is going to play as the public, it's going to play as different profiles and antagonists. There's 3 modes. You can play in solo, co-op or versus mode, and the game itself is quite different to any skirmish game that we've played in the past, I imagine, because this isn't designed on necessarily like attacking and killing people. This is all designed around saving them. And this, again, can be played on different sizes. I mean, it does say you can go really big with this one, up to 8 foot, so it's really up to you. But the examples you'll see later on are quite small, and you can play it on a very small 21 by 21 centimetre board if you wanted to, so very small, intimate encounters. The AI system is going to give you some options. There's a player focused, where you take control and kind of go where intuitively you think the models would be, or you can use the card, and the card symbols here explain exactly what's going to happen and what the AI models are going to do. So there's a nice system in place there with some options, so you can certainly mix it up. And then you've got your special rules section. So here you're going to have all different checks that you're going to make. So these again are going to be different to Trench Offensive. This is where it kind of differs, and you're going to get things more related to the emergency services. So you'll be playing as the police, ambulance or fire brigade in this. Then you've got your keywords, and then we're on to some training incidents that you can go through, a grand rescue. And so, yeah, very different to typical missions where you go and attack each other. And then we've got all the stats here, so this will look very similar to the ones in Trench Offensive. So if you're familiar with it, you'll be able to easily go between the 2 games as well. Then you've got all the weapons and what they do on the back here as well. So nice, quick and easy game to learn there, really laid out so that you could read through it quite quickly and get to grips with it. Printed in the UK, which is always nice as well. So there we go, that's book number 2. But you may be thinking that there's not many incidents or missions to go on there. There's only 2 in the book, but if you go onto their website, there's loads that you can download for free, all different ones. Now, some of these aren't going to be necessarily politically correct, so they're not going to be for everyone. It very much is a niche game. They say so themselves in some of these missions, so have a good read through, see if it's for you. This is just an overview and a way to introduce you to the game, as they were kind enough to give me a copy. There we go then, that's 2 new skirmish games from Pandyman: Trench Offensive and Threat Level Emergency Response. There's a link down below if you'd like to find out more about those games. I'm not sponsored or anything, just sharing the books with you. It was great to meet independent creators at the UK Games Expo, and I saw some fantastic models, scenery and new skirmish games as well, including this one by Rubicon Models, which is called Oscar Mike. This is a new game that they're working on. You can get involved in the development too. I'll put a link to the Facebook page down below. But here's some models they gave me on the day that I'll be sharing here on the channel as well. There's going to be the Viet Cong fighters and the US Marine Corps fighters, so really looking forward to getting these open and built. And then hopefully when the game gets further down the road of development and actually gets released, I can show you some of that and also bring you some vehicles that they do, because their vehicles are top notch, really good. So those two sets are coming real soon. Also look out for Eld4 Chronicles, as I'll be unboxing the Earthen Creatures, getting those built as well, and the core game for Eld4 Chronicles. This is the Skirmish version, and if you saw the video I did previously, I showed you the brand new one on Kickstarter, which is doing awesome. It's doing so well. It's called Northern Wind. There's a link down for that as well. But thanks to all my sponsors for helping me keep going with these daily videos, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you a lot more of these independent tabletop skirmish games, and it's great to add these two books to the collection now. Really starting to get into reading up a lot more of the independent rules, picking out cool little bits from different games like Core Space. We've got Enderain, which I covered a little while ago. My own book, Weekend Warriors, which is a tabletop skirmish game designed to play with your kids, and then tons of others. So I'm really starting to build this collection now. Thanks for all your recommends in previous videos. I'll certainly be adding to this now. But it's really interesting to meet the creators, and that's what I really took away from the UK Games Expo. It was awesome fun, and if you can ever get to anything like that, I'd certainly recommend it. But thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos like this one, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters for helping me to keep going with these regular videos. I couldn't do this without you, and I appreciate your support so much. If you'd like to join the Patreon community, support the channel, get some great perks at the same time, there's a link down below in the description. It'll be awesome to see you there.